Yona Kanyomozi is one name you cannot skip when talking about Uganda's post-colonial political history.
Is okay? But I can take 1 week.
Born in Kajara County in Tungamo district about 75 years ago, the seasoned politician is one of the few people still alive who share childhood memories with President Yoweri Museveni. Yona, as he is fondly called by his peers, went to Kitingo Primary School and later Mbarara High School before joining Ntare School in 1956 for his ordinary education certificate.
Then he went to Nairobi, Royal Technical College as it was then called. It's now the University of Nairobi, to do his A-levels. And he did his A-levels, but because of the different years of taking Makerere admitting people in the university, when he came after A-levels, he found he would have to wait for a year to get into Makerere. He opted to take a scholarship with the Americans. Then there were many American scholarships, and ASPAO, which was being run by Mrs. Alika at that time. So after his A-levels in 1962, he left for America, intending to do his first degree in America.
Before he enrolled in high school, Kanyomozi had a teaching stint at Mbarara High School. It was here where he first came into contact with a young man who later became president.
I was teaching mathematics and science in J2, and I was teaching history in J1. So when I came, I had passed about 18. I came and found Mr. Museveni and Kategaya and in J2. So I taught them for nearly 9 months, teaching them mathematics and science for all that period until I went to do my A-levels in Nairobi. The others I taught in that group who are now in big positions is Ephraim Kamuntu, who was in J1, and Professor Ntozi, who is a professor at Makerere.
As a teacher, he had to monitor his learners' performances and social behavior. The teacher of the young Museveni says Museveni the student was tenacious and a go-getter.
He was an average student. What I know, he had the determination to get things right, and he would get a bit upset if, for example, he failed a number, the calculations didn't add up. I can't say he was that he was brilliant at mathematics. I think he had a bit of a problem with it.
Yoweri Museveni attended Chamate Primary School in Tungamo, Mbarara High, and later Ntare School, where his leadership skills were honed.
I remember him writing to me when I was in London then, telling me what was happening with the debates in the school and how things were going, which was to me very interesting to see a person now starting to identify that dynamism. I was equally then, of course, he was a member of the Democratic Party.
He did a bachelor's degree in political science at Dar es Salaam University in Tanzania. After his university studies, Museveni and Yona Kanyomozi again crossed paths, but this time as established young politicians.
When he came back and joined the intelligence, the president's office, and I was still working in the Uganda Electricity Board, that's when we started interacting again, because a number of us young people wanted to go in Parliament. We wanted to change the composition of Parliament.
According to Yona, Museveni's political activism at a national level began when he tried to contest for the Nyabushozi parliamentary seat.
Suddenly, out of the blue, when we were preparing, him wanting to stand in Nyabushozi, me wanting to stand in Kajara, or what was called Ankole South. Then a bombshell came. The party and the government said if you have got to stand, you must have resigned your position. The 3 or 2 months, I think 2 months or something. And all of a sudden resigned our position. So we found ourselves in quandary because we couldn't now aspire to stand because of that ruling. We thought it was unfair, but there we were. And whether we would have survived it anyway, I don't know. And in any case, you know what happened in the history.
But over time, the two pursued different political persuasions, and the former allies fell out. Museveni opted to unseat the Milton Obote regime after the 1980 general elections.
Benaisa wants to be president, Museveni wants to be president, who else?
That Obote won and Museveni claimed was rigged. After 30 years down the road of Museveni as a national leader, this is Yona's perception of the president.
He has matured. And he knows what he wants. And he aims at getting what he wants.
Yona Kanyomozi served as Minister for Cooperatives under Obote. The senior economist is one of those who have fallen out with the president in his 30-year rule. Many, including those that were part of his 5-year liberation struggle, have walked out on Museveni.
In my opinion, most people who joined him and went in the Bush War didn't recognize the person and who he is. And they are either disappointed and start saying, oh, the man has diverted from the main aim which took us to the bush. No. The man has not deviated on the purpose why he wanted to go to the bush. And he has been determined to maintain that position.
As President Museveni begins another 5-year elective term, at the end of which he'll have been in power for 35 years, making him one of the continent's longest-serving leaders, this is Kanyomozi's impression of his former student.
I would describe him as a determined person who has set up his objectives and wants to achieve them at all costs. And anything which gets in his way, he will remove it.